Thank you, Melissa. It's Faith Time, our weekly conversation on matters of faith. And joining me this morning is Pastor Aaron Smith with Crossroads Baptist Church in Mobile. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning, sir.
Thank you for having me, Chad. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so Easter is today. Why is it the most important holiday in Christianity?
Well, Chad, you know, there are two important holidays in Christianity, Christmas being the first one, the time that we recognize the birth of our Christ or the Messiah, and then, of course, Easter being the second. And, you know, we have Christmas, and that is when we recognize the sending of God. You know, God sent His Son to earth. And the reason I even mention Christmas is because without God sending His Son, we can't even get to Easter. And so Easter being that time where we recognize that death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ.
And for the people that aren't getting ready for their Easter services this morning, what, again, does Easter commemorate?
Oh, that's a great question, Chad. I'm so glad you asked it, you know. Easter is an amazing day. It's the day, of course, as I just mentioned, that we recognize that God sent His Son and that He was crucified on the cross of Calvary. And as He was crucified on the cross, as any dead man, He was buried. And He laid there for 3 days. But it was on that third day that Jesus gloriously rose from the dead. And Christmas, I would say, would be that foundation of Christianity, whereas Easter would be that hope and power. You see, in essence, the Bible tells us that God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And that everlasting life is a gift of God's grace that He gives to every man. For the Bible tells us also that, you know, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And as we have that gift from God, we can, you know, experience eternal life. And it's such a wonderful gift that we can have.
Now, this is one of those days where a lot of people who may not normally go to services will go to church on Easter Sunday. Why do you get a little bit more of a presence on this day?
Well, you know, a lot of it has to do with religious tradition. You know, we have traditions in our culture, in our country, you know, America being a Christian nation that we were founded on and those types of things. So I find a lot of people going out of tradition, but I tell you, I'm seeing in the 17 years that I've been doing this in ministry, I'm actually seeing that trend change. People don't seem to be as interested as they once were in attending church, either whether it's every Sunday or even Christmas and Easter. And I think it's because in our culture today, we seem to be in search of something new. And in searching for that something new, we're not really interested in the old traditions of our grandparents or their parents. And in that, I tell you, so many people are missing out because Easter rather, is so much more than a tradition. The Bible tells us it's the power of God unto salvation. And what I'm thinking is so many people are missing out on that because it is a time that they could actually find that something new that they've been longing for.
And as a pastor, how do you reach the folks that don't normally come to services who might end up in your church today?
Okay. I tell you, we try not to do too many things much differently at our church because, you know, sometimes we can make a particular day such a big day, and I just try to be me. And our church tries to be who we are because I don't want somebody to come back the next week or maybe the next month thinking they're going to experience the same thing. And so we try to keep it as normal as possible. And, you know, I want anyone that walks through the doors of our church to find the love of God in our lives. And as they sit and experience one of our services and one of my sermons, that they would just find it to be normal and that God would be honored and glorified.
Celebrating Easter on this Sunday morning, Pastor Aaron Smith with Crossroads Baptist Church. News 5 this morning will continue after the break.